Thank you very much. The Right Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Rwanda, Your Excellency the Minister of Public Service and Labor of the Republic of Rwanda, and our host, Honorable Judith Uziwe, Your Excellency the AU Commissioner of Political Affairs, Madam Minata Sesouma, Your Excellencies Ministers of Public Service and Administration of the African Union Member States present here today, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Your Excellency, in my capacity as the chair of the subcommittee responsible for public service and administration of the AU STC number 8, I wish to take this opportunity to welcome you to the 2017 African Public Service Day in this beautiful city of Kigali, the wonderful country of Rwanda. I further wish to extend my compliments to the government of Rwanda and the AU Commission for hosting this commemorative event and for committing all efforts in ensuring full participation from the AU member states. A very special thank you I wish to extend to the AU Secretariat and the APSD champions and participating member states for their dedication, their support, which has led to this gathering here today. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to note that the Africa Public Service Day is now entrenched strategic event on the African Union calendar. The fundamental objective of this day is enshrined in the AFCD. The fundamental objective of the day is enshrined in the provision and the delivery of value and quality of public service to African citizens and the due recognition of the working conditions and the quality of officials who devote their lives to diligently serve the various publics that they interact with. The day therefore serves as a significant platform for the public service to showcase and reward good initiatives and achievements in the public service. It also serves as a platform providing invaluable opportunity for public servants to promote values which range from professionalism, accountability, transparency, responsiveness, ethical behavior, and performance in the delivery of public service. I join my sister in noting that we have upwards of 50 exhibitors from member states showcasing innovations and best practice. Indeed, a very rich ground for us to learn from each other. Your Excellency, the 2017 APSD theme, which is entrenching a citizen-centered service delivery culture, partnering with Youth for Africa's transformation, is anchored to the African aspirations for 2063, an Africa whose development is people-driven, relying on the potential offered by people, especially its youth and women, and caring for its children. The focus on youth comes at an opportune time for Africa, where 60% of the continent's population is youthful, and there is a push to enhance the contribution to the continent's socio-economic development of this demographic group. It is for these reasons, Your Excellency, that heads of state of EU member states have devoted the theme of this year, 2017, to harnessing the demographic dividend through investment in the youth. The theme of today also recognizes that the professionalism of the public sector of the African public services, promotion of entrepreneurial skills among the youth to address the challenge of unemployment, and adoption of ICT in service delivery will ensure quality service to our citizenry. It therefore calls upon AU member states to make the most of the information age, recognizing that information technology and e-government are valuable tools essential for inclusive, equitable, and sustainable development. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, APSD commemoration, therefore, seeks to remind us that effective governance and effective, efficient public administration are central to the global, the regional, and also national development agenda. It calls for sound public policies and supportive governance structures and a need to respond swiftly and coherently to what our citizenry requires. And fundamentally, we are required to show solidarity, especially with the poorest and most vulnerable as public servants. As a public service, there is need to take stock of achievements in this respect and to showcase advancements and innovations in the public service sphere. It is important also to note that each of the Sustainable Development Goals, 17 of them, are linked to the delivery of efficient and effective public service, from health to education, safety to the rule of law, from water to energy, infrastructure to women empowerment, to economic policies and beyond. We need to remind ourselves that the SDGs are intricately linked to efficient public service delivery. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate the APSD of 2017, we must remind ourselves of the continent's integration agenda set out in the African Agenda of 2063, the strategic framework for the socio-economic transformation of the continent, which will take us through the next 50 years. It is an agenda driven by the voices of the African people, indicating the Africa they want. The Agenda 2063 principles are based on the fact that good governance is a basic requirement for peace, for security, for sustainable economic development, and sets out its vision, an integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa, driven by its own citizens and representing a dynamic force in international arena. To meet this aspiration, Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, place Africa as a continent on the required development trajectory, reform of the public service is crucial in ensuring implementation and creating the conducive environment for the good governance and service delivery. In addition to this, the public service is crucial in ensuring a conducive regulatory environment for non-state actors through the provision of services which range from registration of companies, issuance of licenses, making of tax returns, as well as promoting local and foreign direct investments. Today, a country can, through effective public service delivery, impact on one of the measures of competitiveness of a country in terms of the ease of doing business. Indeed, I wish to note the growing improvement of the ease of doing business index in a number of the countries in the region. Rwanda stands out, and so does Kenya, including other countries represented here today, through integration of ICT and citizen-centered service delivery. Your Excellency, these are some of the lessons that we'll be sharing here today, but also through the exhibits that are out on display. I now wish to urge my fellow colleagues and ministers responsible for public service to join hands as we aspire to build effective public service for the African continent that goes beyond formulating and implementing of policies. The public service, my colleagues, must, one, have capacity to support government to draw up a long-term vision and agenda and to implement that vision consistently, coherently over time. 2, to enable the governments to adopt appropriate policies in the light of changing circumstances. Just to cite as an example, how should a country deal with a growing youth population? The burden lies on you, colleague, the ministers present here today, as we respond to this very vital question. This, my colleagues, can only be innovatively handled if there is a public service with the right human capacities, a capable and committed bureaucracy in the form of a national think tank, plus efficient and transparent public service, especially the core civil service that has institutional, managerial, and technical capacity for development and management of the economy and society are a must for a country to take off utilizing this very invaluable resource called the youth. Number 3, to facilitate the development of an environment that is conducive for non-state actors to produce and support government agenda efficiently. And finally, to facilitate the achievement of overall human development in and out of the continent. I wish to reiterate that the capacity of a public service that delivers is enhanced through the establishment of strong and effective national institutions. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to inform you that as the incoming chair of the Subcommittee on Public Service and Administration of the AU Specialized Technical Committee number 8, I have committed to work in a collaboration with other member states to continue implementing the provisions of the African Charter on Values and Principles of Public Service. Implementation of this charter will help create and entrench a culture that is value-driven public service among the AU member states. I join the Commissioner, Madam Sesuma, in calling upon members to join hands and sign on so that we can build a critical mass to be able to implement this charter. As I conclude, I wish to pay tribute to public servants in all member states for their dedication to excellence and professionalism in their line of duty. Once again, thank you for your commitment. Together, let us create an environment where public service can flourish with creativity, with innovation, and a shared drive to realize Agenda 2030 and African Agenda 2063 and make Africa globally competitive. Thank you for your attention.